So excited to have Monica on the show. Monica, we first met back in 2023 when you came on my Nevada City retreat to grow a six-figure business. We've been working together ever since, and to watch you blossom and what you've been creating is so amazing. I can't wait to tell the audience all about it, but let's get started with, I think, one of the coolest things that happened to you recently. You let me know that within 12 months of ditching alcohol, you left behind your corporate job and started your own business. Can you tell us a little bit of that story?
Yes, absolutely. And Carolina, it is such a pleasure to be on your podcast. It's a dream come true. And yeah, so really within 12 months of ditching alcohol, and I would say there have been three seismic shifts in my life, and ditching alcohol was absolutely one of them. And within 12 months, I took a leap. Like after 25 years in corporate, I decided it's time to follow my own vision. And I started my own business. So it was so exciting. And I never would have done it had I still had all the anxiety and really been held down by what alcohol was doing to me. So having ditched that it was just, I felt liberated to be able to take a next huge step in my life.
Yeah. Well, amazing. Congratulations. And
Thank
I was
you.
kind of thinking back to my own journey. I was on a podcast myself recently, and people were asking me like this question, but I'm really curious, like before you ditched alcohol, had you ever thought of entrepreneurship? Like, had you ever like dipped your toe into it? Or was there like kind of a seismic shift in also your identity to be like, yeah, why not like go out on my own and build a company like once you went alcohol free? Like how are those two things interrelated? And what do you think it was about ditching alcohol that really gave you the push to like go out on your own?
Oh, yeah. I love this question. Nice and juicy. So, I had dipped my toe in being an entrepreneur before, but I dabbled here, I dabbled there, and I really never got it off the ground. And I went back to corporate because of that, because it was my safety net. It was my safety zone. It was what I already knew, always knew. And yes, I took some big shifts in my corporate career. I even changed my career a few times, and it's all about following my passion and my mission, which I was holding true to that in a corporate container. But this was different because during those 12 months of going alcohol free, I really got to know myself more, and I started seeing the boundaries. I started seeing where I needed to establish boundaries. I needed to see where I could really get in touch with who I wanted to be and what was okay for me and not okay. So my standards really started elevating, and I really kind of woke up to the fact that I was really working very hard. So I've always been a very hard worker. In fact, I help high achievers now, but it was ultimately causing me to go in and out of these cycles of burnout too, which I was using alcohol as a bit of a coping mechanism. So without alcohol, I started really, it's like pulling back the layers of how I could get in touch with myself. And it was just finally like, I've been working so hard, and I love the companies I worked for, but I was really building someone else's vision. And now I was just so ready to build my own vision. And I was also about to turn 49. So I was like, wow, that's a big age coming up. 50 kind of makes you pause and think, what am I doing with the rest of my life here? So that's what really shifted for me.
Well, I've met you several times in person, and like you look like a young 30-year-old. It's incredible what ditching alcohol can do and living in your passion. So I'm curious as you kind of go back into the nascent of your entrepreneurial career. A lot of people want to leave corporate and they would love the freedom that comes with it, the impact that can come with it, the autonomy that comes from it, but they're not really sure what to do. And I know the coaching and consulting world can seem really daunting if like you're just starting. How are you supposed to be this expert for other people? So I'm really curious how you took all of the years of your corporate experience and all of your leadership skills that you've already cultivated and the ones that you've been growing as an entrepreneur too, to form your brand and your company. Like tell me a little bit more about the philosophy behind that. And also tell me like how can women pull through so many of the multitudes of what they've already done in their life to really be an authority in the thing that they can teach other people?
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing is you already have everything you need to be a successful entrepreneur. And yes, add in community and add in the wonderful certification program that I went through and with Carolina. So thank you for that. I mean, definitely go get that, but really getting grounded in knowing that you have incredible assets based on your experience, really getting grounded in your story. I really feel like knowing your history and your story, so many people can benefit from that. And I have definitely, when I look at my own story, changing, successfully changing careers, and then also taking the big leap to leave corporate and that stability of a regular paycheck and really take the big leap to go out on my own. I knew I could do it because I had something of value. And so I love going back and having people look at their strengths, look at their talents, and you can really lean into those and bring those to life. That's kind of the beauty of becoming an entrepreneur. And it is a process. It's getting kind of over the imposter syndrome and some of the scary pieces of visibility, putting yourself out there. But really, this is such an exciting day and age where your own intellectual property, you can monetize that, and people really, really need what you have to offer.
Yeah. And tell me a little bit about how you've done that for your own brand. So what is it all about? Tell us all about it.
Yes. So I started Lux Powerhouse Coaching and Consulting, and it's leadership and business consulting. I'm now adding that in, and really, I have been helping multi-million-dollar visions come to life in my corporate career, and now I want to do that for women. It's primarily for women, and it's for mission-driven, high-achieving women to really take the reins. And my tagline, so Lux, it's Lux. So not only is that a measure of illumination, so I'm trying to help women really illuminate the fire within, connect with their true self, and lead from their innate strengths and find that true leadership. And it's really about taking the reins in our life and knowing that when we take the reins and we have a lot of control. Like sometimes it takes learning, and coaching really helps with that, and being with a great group of people to help you through that. So that's what I offer. And then also my tagline, not only is Lux kind of like this beautiful symbolism of illumination and kind of bringing that radiant energy out into the world, it's an acronym for my tagline, which is lead, unleash, and experience. And so that's really my method, that I help people, and mostly women, really unleash what is holding them back. So be it alcohol or money mindset or their idea around really having to hustle in these toxic work environments. They really don't. There are other possibilities out there for you that you can. I help people that are still in corporate that really love that and love the mission, but maybe need to find a separate or another place to thrive. Maybe they're in an environment that they feel stuck. So I help them get unstuck and find something where they can really thrive. And then also maybe they're ready to take that big next step and start a side hustle or become an entrepreneur. So I really help them scale their businesses that way. But it's really grounded in the leadership. And then the experience part is I love hosting in-person events and really bringing women together, because I feel like the last piece, that community, is also where some people can get stuck. And we feel like, oh gosh, there's no one around me who supports my vision. Maybe it's unrealistic. So, my first big jump was attending your Nevada City retreat, Carolina. And I knew I needed to do it because I needed more really powerful, like-minded powerhouse women around me for my own journey. So that's unbelievable. So I want to do that for other women.
Yeah. And congratulations. You hosted your first leadership retreat this year in New Orleans. Like, what a beautiful place to go. How was that? And how did that stretch you as a leader?
Yes, boy, that was a big one. And thank you for that. I was so excited. Like, that was one of the things, like, sometimes I think you just have to jump in. If something's on your heart, make it happen. you're never going to be ready for everything. And that was a perfect example that I always wanted to have an alcohol-free retreat in New Orleans, which is such a party city. But I also wanted to kind of bring people back. And so many people that attended my retreat, women, they had gone alcohol free and they wanted a redo and in this beautiful city. And it's really more about expression and culture and creativity. And so we really dove into the bigger vision beyond alcohol and the bigger vision of when you can really step into your own self-expression. And we did a lot of creativity sessions. So it was really magical. And what it showed me that number one, I could really pull it off. And that was great. And I was able to do that through, Become Emboldened, your wonderful program there. That really lit a fire under me to just start taking risks, jump in. And that's how you learn, like really do things before you're ready. And I also learned that's where the magic was happening, bringing people together where it's virtually on a call. I feel like that's amazing, but also doing in person, it not only did it feed my soul, and I knew I was in the right place with my own mission, I could see the room light up when other women, leaders, powerhouse, high performers, they could sit and actually be seen and heard. I mean, that was pure magic.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, because I really see the future of the coaching industry. Like we obviously do need the online connection and the more like day or week by week kind of things. But I think what's really going to set apart like ordinary coaches from the true thought leaders are those who kind of foray into like real world experiences for their clients, right? And it's one of the first things you did in your business, which I think is just such a mark of your leadership. Like, let's just go off the deep end right away into this in-person experience because it's not for the faint of heart. Like it's not easy to put down a huge deposit on a hotel or a room or, a mansion and say, I'm bringing women, but who knows what's going to happen. And to like, just really sell your heart out and sell the vision. Because then when you're there that day, and yes, you're still stretched as a leader that day, because, like maybe the catering's late or like whatever can happen. It is so worth it. Like to be able to have those breakthroughs in person and have like the light just like spark into a woman's eyes because like there's such a clear aha that's going on of something that's being recognized or, found in oneself in an in-person event than online. It's so worth it. And to be able to be the facilitator of that kind of transformation and literally have people walk home different people. Like I can almost look back at my year and benchmark it based on what in-person experiences I attended. And I was like, oh, that was me before, this retreat and me after this retreat. Like I can always see that huge difference in me. And I always love to facilitate that for clients as well. So congratulations. Like it's a big deal. Do you have anything other planned or anything in your mind as like what you'd love to do next?
I do. In fact, it just lit another fire that I was ready to do more, of course. And of course, bigger, better. Let's do it. So my next one is in Spain. It's September 30th through October 3rd. And we have a private villa. I have 4 spots left. If
Oh
anyone's
my
interested,
God.
everybody, it's this gorgeous villa. It's 30 minutes south of Granada. And it is, again, it's about creative expression, it's very intimate. So I really, one of my signature components is we all get time to really get to know each other. And a lot of time also just to kind of balance in-person sharing and sessions and lots of open talk. And then with also learning, it is a leadership retreat. And then also there's plenty of time to relax around the pool. There's a gorgeous pool. It's in the mountains. It's right next to the Sierra Nevada mountains in southern Spain. And of course, flamenco is, it's all about this big, vibrant energy. And I really want to bring that out in women because I just feel like it's there and it's about being bold and playful. And we've got some excursions planned. And I'm going to be doing more. I'm actually about to launch a founders club, and it's the Lux Global Experiences Founders Club. And it's actually a membership that's going to have different tiers so women can kind of just build it into their monthly budget and invest in going on a retreat next year, or maybe a couple. So that's coming soon. And what I really want to do, the whole purpose again, is like get people out of your normal everyday life. And you hit it, Carolina. It's like these quantum leaps. You know who you are before the retreat. And then when you come out on the other end, you're a different person. You're alive. Something wakes up in you when you're able to do that. And then being able to connect with all these beautiful souls and learn about them and their triumphs and their challenges, something else wakes up in you too, that there's like this sisterhood born, this community of connection, and they become lifelong friends too. I think that's another beautiful part of it. So
Yeah.
yes, that is coming
Well,
up soon.
oh my gosh, Monica, you are building a global brand around this. Like, how exciting. And, to have such an accessible model too, I think is really brilliant. And like, it's really going to change the like industry. But also too, what you're saying about how much you change, how much you make friends for life, opportunities for life too. Like I go on an event here just to kind of relax or to like to receive. And then I get speaking gigs out of it because people get to know me. It's crazy how things like work out like that. But you have to put yourself in those rooms. You have to get out of your house. You have to get on a plane. And also it's fun. I mean, we have this one life. Like let's frolic in the mountains of Spain together and go watch flamenco shows or dance it ourselves. Why not? Like, and I think that's the whole spirit of being alcohol free. It's like trying new things, doing new things, pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, stepping into like a new arena. And I wanted to backtrack a little bit because you brought up something really brilliant because we have a mix of people who watch this show who are either some are entrepreneurs, some are alcohol free, some are sober curious, some are kind of starting to think about leaving corporate. So you mentioned about how you do work with also corporate women who are trying to find a more balanced role within that. And I think we've talked before in our conversations about this idea of like entrepreneurship and really taking a role of leadership in your company without waiting for some boss to crown you with a promotion or something like that. So, if someone hasn't gotten the entrepreneurial itch yet, how do you think someone can show up as an entrepreneur in their current position in order to open the door to new opportunities and potentially, make their lives better, their companies better, their teams better, and also hopefully their pay better?
Absolutely. I love this question. Yeah, there's a few things. Number one is really, if you haven't done it yet, I highly recommend doing Clifton Strengths. And I don't have an affiliate agreement with them, but I absolutely love it's a great assessment to really lean into your strengths. Or if you have a favorite assessment, or if you've done one, go back and read it. And the reason I say that is like really leaning into your strengths is where you're going to shine. And we often we hustle and think we're not enough. And it really gets us into this kind of imposter syndrome where we overwork and it kind of can burn us out. So the more we really lean into our strengths and use creative problem solving, I'm also a big proponent of giving yourself some time and space for creativity and developing that and being able to be strategic and solve problems creatively. You're going to gain back so much time. So that is kind of how you can take control of your schedule, not burn yourself out trying to do all the things, just be really strategic and do things that are really, you can approach things through your strengths and know that when you can let your strength shine forth, you're really going to get noticed and you're going to be just showing up way more confident because you're going to feel like, oh, I'm really grounded in something I'm really good at. And it's a lot less energy sapping. And then, oh my gosh, I'm on this crazy toxic hustle wheel all the time and I'm just drained. So, really, I'd say number one, really protect your energy, lean into your strengths, and know how you're showing up every day because that's so important. When you can show up as a leader, people see you as a leader, people they'll just automatically give you more projects and the kind of projects. So I think the second piece to that is speak up for yourself and make sure that, of course, diplomatically and professionally, but don't be afraid to really tell people what you're doing and what you're accomplishing. And whether it's your direct manager, make sure that they know that, look, this is a win. whether you have an established way to share wins or you just start doing it for your team, I really think that's a great way to remind people that, look, I did this really incredible thing. And then I think the third thing is to look for a mentor. I think that's so critical. If you can find a mentor, whether it's in your own company or it's outside of your company, but somebody that really has your back and can help you grow as a leader. And then ideally, you would find a mentor and champion within your own company. And I was really fortunate because I was doing all the things, really trying to lean into my strengths, really speaking up for myself, that I ended up having, and they were mostly women, but I did have some beautiful, some wonderful male mentors, but people that would champion me above, like up into the echelons of corporate. And so that helped me rise too and get noticed. Because sometimes I've seen people that really aren't speaking up for themselves, or I think people get nervous about tooting their own horn. Don't do it. I highly recommend being visible and getting credit for what you're accomplishing. And then that will help you rise through and get the positions you want and deserve, actually.
Yeah, I love your note about having a mentor. Like, I think it's so important. And, it's talked a lot about in the entrepreneurship space because it's so normalized. Like, you have to have a mentor to learn to know what you're doing here. But, like, I have friends in corporate who've worked with coaches that have helped them get huge salary increases just through the confidence, not from negotiating skills or like, here's what you say or what you do, but just from the pure confidence that they've gotten from that coach, Like, I think it's so critical for women when we're so socialized to not take up space and be quiet and be meek and just wait our turn. Like working with a coach is one of the most savvy things you could do to increase your self-worth, increase your net worth as well, whether you're in the corporate or in the entrepreneurship space. I'm actually thinking about it too now because you have been a sales executive for so long as well, among all the things that you've done in corporate. So I'm so curious, how do you see the difference in sales in a corporate role versus in entrepreneurship?
Oh, yes. Great question. And oh my gosh, sales people, and sometimes people think it's such a dirty word. And so that's kind of, I love telling people that actually it's not. Sales is service and you can make it whatever you want. But the difference is, you know, in a corporate environment, especially, I was in consumer packaged goods working for natural products brands. And so it was an actual product. So I also still, I had to build relationships. There's some similarities, but sometimes it's really difficult when you're kind of selling yourself. You're putting yourself out there. It's you. And when you are representing a product or a company, that feels very different than representing your own company or your own personal brand. I mean, that's really who you are as a coach and an entrepreneur. And I think that's very important to not only have the brand of your company out there, and that's your company. It's not someone else's company, it's yours. So it's equally exciting. It can be really, it can feel a little nerve wracking because you're the one out there. And I also think I always go back though when people might get a little like, ooh, I don't want to be salesy, or um, I get nervous on trying to close a sale. I think the most important thing to think about, and this is exactly what I focused on when I was in corporate sales, it's really about relationship building. And that's if you forget about getting across the finish line with the program that you're offering, or maybe the product, if you happen to be in a kind of a product based, whether it's you could be service through coaching or maybe it is a product, but think about relationships first, because we're a people business, whether it's in corporate or it's your own company, and you need people to really get excited about what you're offering. So I think that's the other piece, is talking about the vision. And I really leaned in, and that was kind of my own special sauce in corporate. And it also is my special sauce now with my own company is I love really getting people excited about the big vision, what could be, the possibilities. And that's what gets people excited about, oh, I want to get on board with this. Like the vision of like where we could go together in this relationship. And so I really feel like that's the focus. And those are the similarities too.
Yeah, it's crazy how focusing your big vision turns on like that juice. I was recently talking to my coach because obviously I'm all about coaching. Um,
Yes.
and just like looking at like your plan for the next 4 months or 6 months, especially if you've done something before, you're kind of like, repeating a strategy, it sometimes isn't enough to light you up. It's just like, oh yeah, we're doing this again. And my coach really helped me see like the 2 year, 3 year vision from today. And it was huge. It was so mega. I couldn't even wrap my head around it. And I was just like, oh my God, there's the passion. There's the juice. And it's like seeing that what you're doing today is a roadmap to that bigger vision makes it so much more exciting than just like, oh, I have to post on social media today or I have to write this email. It makes it so much more bigger and so much more alive and invigorated. I love that so much, Monica. I totally agree. And I just have one more question for you. I know we've worked together for so long with the Become Emboldened, the 5X certification program, the Thought Leader Mastermind, but I'm so curious. We're about to launch the 5X certification again for our fall class. How did that program help you? How did it help you really establish you as a leader and just have the skills to be able to facilitate this level of transformation for your clients?
Yeah, it's an absolute game changer. The person that started that certification and the person I became, a world of different in a great way. And trying I could write an entire essay about what it did for me, but to try to keep it short and brief. Um, it was like the fact that it's five certifications, and I loved that it was the different modalities. I feel like I can tackle, I love being able to show up for my clients for whatever they need. So not only with the success, I can lean into success, I can lean into NLP, I can lean into alcohol freedom or mindset coaching. And I feel like it makes me a much more versatile coach. And I also really thought and think it's very important for credibility, the fact that it's ICF accredited, and it is such a robust program too. I feel like it just got me so ready to teach my own clients. Having it's funny because I did lead teams, and I actually was doing a lot of mentoring and coaching in a corporate environment. But there was something different about getting that kind of really that focused training that comes out of the program, and really getting into the development of becoming a coach, and then doing it with all these other amazing people. I mean, that's golden. These are friends that I'll have for a lifetime, and we all get to grow together in our own businesses. Oh my goodness. And the fact that there's a business section, a business part of it, the business mastermind. So not only are you getting these incredible certifications that definitely help with credibility and your own willingness and ready to be out there coaching, you get this business mastermind on top of that really you can put it together. You're not just released into the world with a certification, but you also know how to build a business. And I think that's really valuable. And it it definitely, I was able to hit the ground running in my own coaching business, and I had some epic first months because that just being able to get clients and feel really good and confident. And then I have a team of people. I am still in touch with everybody today, and rooting them on. So I can't tell you how grateful I am that you have this certification, Carolina, and the mastermind. And then our in-person in Palm Springs was just an extraordinary event too. So I kind of feel like it's three beautiful delicious programs all wrapped up into one. So it was amazing.
Well, it's such an honor having you in it, and I'm so freaking proud of your work. Like, you are just going leaps and bounds, and the way that you're taking risks, I think it's really important to recognize that this business, like, you have to put yourself out there, and it is more uncomfortable than hiding yourself behind a product. Like, you are selling yourself, but you're not doing it for your benefit at the end of the day. It's, yes, your benefit, but also the benefit of the people who you're meant to impact, you know? So you can really make it a sign of service and really about helping people. And even about sales, you know, I love what you're saying because to me, I think of it this way. When I'm selling to someone, I'm seeing them in their highest potential. It's like I'm seeing the vision of what they can build and create in their life. And they may not see that for themselves yet. And some people just aren't ready yet. And that's okay. But like,
Yeah,
it's not pushy or manipulative when you're seeing someone at like, this is the possibility for you. And this is so exciting. And I believe in it wholeheartedly because why not? I've watched it happen a bazillion times in my life for me and my clients. Like, what, of course you're next, right? And I think
right.
it's just such a cool success story that you've had. Congratulations on your retreat. Congratulations on Spain. That sounds so juicy. So, if someone's interested in the retreat, the future retreats, the membership, working with you, where can people find more information?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for that. They can find me at my Instagram is at Macro Monica. That's MacroMonica. And then also my website is www.luxpowerhouse.com. And that's LUX powerhouse.com. And they can just send me a message. And I am so grateful for you, Carolina. Thank you so much. And it was such a pleasure chatting with you too today.
Yeah, no, I think the trajectory you've had, like you go alcohol free, you ditch corporate, you're leading retreats around the world. Like this is how different life can be when you really go all in on
Yeah,
removing the things that you're numbing life to and really injecting your passion and your purpose back in. Like it's tremendous what happens. And I believe every woman deserves this. Like we deserve nothing less than this. And that's why I have this crusade. It's not like anti-alcohol. It's just like, just watch what happens when you remove it from your life. Just
yeah,
watch, and just lean into growth, lean into mentorship, and you will surprise yourself as a completely different person within a year or two.
yes, I agree 100%. I'm on the same mission with you, Carolina, because of you. I mean, you really show what's on the other side of alcohol for people. And that is what also lit me up too, that big vision. And it makes it all worth it. When times will get tough, you'll go through challenges, but you will rally so much faster too, because you don't have these things holding you back. And then you see your vision so much more clearly. And it's so powerful. And you'll have the right people around you helping you make it happen also. You're not alone too. So yeah, I think it's your North Star is so important, and that big vision that you really want and is in you, it's out there for you. And I think it's time for people to just go claim it. It's time.
Oh, Monica, thank you so much for inspiring all of us. I'm so
Thank
excited
you.
for your Spain retreat, everything that's coming. Always keep us posted. It's just way too exciting and juicy. Can't wait to share it also on our socials. You are just such a brilliant coach, leader, and really helping, I think, women believe not only in themselves again, see their superpowers within both their corporate and in the entrepreneurship world, and create these legacies and these destinies that are so outside the confines of what society tells you are the boxes. You know what I mean? And I think that's really special. And I think that that's the new wave of leadership, of work. Like we're redefining systems, and our daughters will thank us, and our granddaughters, and our nieces and stuff like that because of so much of the work that we were doing today to change these systems. So I'm so impressed. Thank you so much for being such a good guest today.
Thank you so much, Carolina. It has been such an honor and a gift. Great to see you.